two, three.
Let me interrupt you there. Is your self-image strong because of your success? Like I reread your bio, or how did you think you came up with that strong self-image?
I first wrote out the self-image that I wanted, and then I created the neural patterns to become it.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So
Wow.
even as we're sitting here talking, all right, in front of me, I have my exceptional life blueprints, part of a program that people invest in that we have. And if
Mhm.
you were to look at my vision board in here, you would also see the story of my life.
Story of my life, right?
Of
Hmm.
my life is all around my health and wealth and relationship, career and business and identity and self-worth and beliefs that I have programmed, conditioned through Innercise in my own brain to then
Mm.
cause me to think and feel and behave in ways that align with the self-image I have developed and decided that's what I need in order to achieve the level of success I once never had.
This year, skip breaking a sweat and get 3 months unlimited mobile service at mintmobile.com/transform for just $15 a month. Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life radio, podcast, and television show. I'm your host, Life Coach Myrna Young, and sitting in the guest chair today is John Assaraf, mindset and success expert. And John and I are going to be talking today on the topic rewiring your brain for success in health, wealth, and happiness. How many of us want to know how to do that? So I at least want to know how to do that. But welcome, John.
Hi there, Myrna. Nice to be with you.
Nice to be with you as well. I've been following your work for a while, so it's an honor to have you on the show. I'm tickled pink. I hope I don't get, when my daughter was saying when she's interviewing with people that she really admires that she gets tongue-tied. So I hope I don't do that today.
We'll just keep it nice and casual.
Right. Okay. So let me give you guys a brief introduction for those who do not know. John Assaraf is a world-renowned mindset and success expert, featured on Larry King Live, Anderson Cooper, The Ellen DeGeneres Show. He has built 5 multi-million-dollar companies, written 14 books, including 2 New York Times bestsellers, and starred in 16 movies, including The Secret and The Quest for Success. John's work empowers individuals to shatter limitations and achieve their fullest potential through neuroscience-backed tools like the new Innercise app. All right, so I wanted to start off with the familiar.
Sure.
And, you were featured in the movie The Secret. This is how I came to know you. And The Secret was all about the law of attraction. So, if we kind of want to blend that into our talk today, how does visualization contribute to our success? Does it help rewire the brain in any way?
It does. I think one of the first questions would be why would I even want to rewire my brain? What does it even mean, right? And I think it's important for people to understand that we all become conditioned. We become conditioned to believe certain things are possible for us or not possible. We are taught to believe whether we are worthy or not worthy. We're taught to believe that we can earn $10,000 or $50,000, a day or a month or in a year. Um, and we're taught all of these things. And in these teachings, our brain is creating these connections, right? These almost like highways, right? When we're born, we don't have these neural connections or software. But as we learn about ourselves and the world and what to believe, and we develop habits and knowledge and skills, our brain makes these neural connections. And it's like software on your mobile phone or software on your computer. Well, our brain has the software. Now, some people have software that's outdated. Some people have beliefs that are not true.
Right.
Some people have habits that are disempowering, but these patterns cause us to think in a certain way, cause us to feel certain things, and cause us to behave in certain ways, but it also causes us to expect certain outcomes.
Mm,
And we always will behave based on what we expect, not based on what we want.
yeah.
So when we talk about does visualization help rewire the brain, when we use the visual cortex of the brain, we're activating brain cells and we're activating other parts of our brain, other circuits and networks. And if we're, let's say, visualizing being healthier, and we do that every day for 30 days, then our brains start to develop this pattern of, well, we're healthier, so maybe we should exercise. Maybe we should eat better. Maybe we should take care of our sleep and reduce our stress. When we visualize getting out of debt and making more money, and we teach our brain to see ourselves out of debt, we teach our brain to earn more income in our job or our business, then we're creating and reinforcing new patterns that then affect how we think. It affects what we expect. It affects what we do as well. So if you think about software on your mobile phone, the software cannot do what the software is not programmed to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You will not do what you're not programmed
Program to
to
do.
do.
Right.
Visualization is just a technique or tool to say, let me see myself already letting go of certain fears or letting go of certain expectations or letting go of traumas or letting go of beliefs that are holding me back. And let me create and reinforce a pattern of me being strong, me being confident, me being certain, me being capable, me achieving what I want instead of hoping, wishing, and praying to achieve it. So there's an old saying that says, when I see it in here, and I'm pointing to my head, and
Right.
believe it in here, and I'm like touching my heart,
Art. Right. Mm-hmm.
then I will do the work to see it out there. So we want to get the head, the heart, and
Yeah.
the behavior aligned.
Right. Right.
Visualization is a technique I use.
Yeah, I never actually, one of the things I say, and I know that it's out there, I'm not sure where I got it from, but whatever you hold in your head, you can hold in your hand. So you got to hold it in your head first. But I never went through the hard part. But yes, if you feel it, when you're doing the visualization, they always tell you to feel that you're there. So that you're incorporating the heart, you're incorporating emotions. Um, and yes, I mean, I even this morning, I was working on visualization and trying to get into my quantum energy and trying to, um, uh, because what the secret was all about was the law of attraction. If you see it, then you can start attracting it to you, and that's basically what I do. But you are incorporating a different element into it. Is when you see it, you're rewiring your brain because we all know, I know, I'm not sure if our listeners know, but the brain works on patterns and it works on the familiar and it works on safety. So in order to get it out of that little box that it puts it in, you've got to try to rewire it, which is basically what your work is, right?
Yeah.
Rewiring it, creating new patterns, getting it out of mediocre thinking. Um, so that's amazing. So I'm glad that we started off there. But
And
just out of,
can I
go
just,
ahead.
can I just, yeah, when we're talking about, this law of attraction, let's just fundamentally understand that almost everything in our lives is made up of energy, right?
Mhm.
Vibrating packets of energy. At the atomic scale, we might have hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, and, subatomic particles that coalesce, unite to create atoms and molecules that make up our skin, our bones, tissues, brain, heart, lungs. They're made up of of what? Hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen. That's the majority of what we're made up of.
Hmm.
Well, if I have a fearful thought, right, then isn't this thing called my body vibrating at the level or at the frequency of the fear?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, if I have a loving, caring, grateful thought, isn't my body, this molecular structure, vibrating and the frequency that it's emitting, vibrating at the level of the love and the gratitude? Yeah, we can all walk into a room without one word being said, and you can go, oh my God, something's going on.
Yeah.
How
You
do
can
you
pick
know
it up.
something's going
Hmm.
on? Well, we
Hmm.
pick it up with our other than thinking part of our brain. It's our intuition part of our brain that actually reads and feels energy.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
that's where animals, can read and feel energy
Your
and
fear. Right.
snakes,
Yes.
right? They feel the vibration, right?
Hmm.
Well, you and I are vibrating, humans, and we're vibrating at the level of what we're thinking. We're vibrating at the level of what we're feeling. That is what a feeling is the conscious awareness of the feeling I have.
Right.
And we're vibrating at the level of what we visualize. So are you visualizing what you don't want? Are you visualize failing? Are you visualizing being embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, judged, rejected? Are you visualizing losing?
Yeah.
Or are you at the vibration of winning and having more and being more and giving more and experiencing more? And in doing that, are we not then in resonance with other things that vibrate at that same frequency?
Right. Right.
Isn't music a frequency?
Yes.
Isn't a tuning fork, right?
Yes.
Based on frequency?
Hmm.
So we want to get into the frequency, the alignment with what we want versus what we do not want.
Right. So that's basically what the law of attraction is saying, that, whatever you're vibrating is what you're attracting. And
But you're
whether it's
resonating.
lack,
We,
right.
we have to be careful, right?
Okay.
Because it doesn't work like a magnet.
Okay.
See, as soon as we say attract, people think it's sucked, into us. It works more like music. When
Mm.
people are singing in harmony, it aligns. It's called
Mm.
sympathetic resonance,
Okay.
right? So when sound waves align, they create a whole that's greater than the sum of its parts,
Hmm.
right? So when we're in alignment, we align with other people, things that are
Mm.
in resonance with that.
Okay.
So it's not like it's being magnetized to us like a black hole sucking things in.
Well, that's how I always thought of it, because one of the things I say too is who you seek is seeking you. So I'm thinking that if I'm in my nice vibration and energy and positive energy,
Yes.
someone that's aligned with that, we're gonna like attract each other. No?
Well, yes, because we repel stuff that we're not in alignment with,
Right.
and then we
Hmm.
vibrate and oscillate. Like we find concerts, of people that like the same type of music.
Right.
We
Hmm.
find sporting events. We find books. We find radio stations. You
Yeah.
know, and
Okay.
the people who are listening are people like us. That's what they're vibrating and oscillating at that frequency.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's how we find each other and or attract each other.
Attract each other. Got
Yeah,
you. Got you. Got you. So it's not like a magnet, it's just an alignment in the
you
same
got it.
environment, right? And hopefully we can go the next step to bring it into you. I like that. Okay. Well, thank you for clarifying that, because I always thought that it was, when you're doing these visualization exercises and you're walking and you're feeling in the same vibration of having this thing, then whatever's out there in the vortex, you're going to attract it. But I like what you're saying. You are going to be in the same environment. You're going to be in the same alignment. And
Bingo.
then, yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Bingo, bingo, bingo.
What was that?
Bingo. That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Thank you. Awesome. All right. So let's get to your work. Inner Size, you talk about turning any fear into fuel for success. Can you share an example of that? Because I have never, I was never aware that you can turn the fear into fuel. How does
Sure.
that work?
Well, when we use the word fear, right, I want everybody to think about circuits in the brain, right? So when you're motivated, you have the motivational circuit is turned on, and it just means your motive for action. That's the circuit, motive for action. I'm going to take action because I'm motivated to do it. But fear is an emotion also that is a protective emotion, right? Fear is to protect you. I don't want to fail. I don't want to fall. I don't want to lose. I don't want to get hurt. So when something causes the fear circuit to turn on, the neurochemicals of fear is going to be cortisol, and epinephrine or adrenaline, and we
Mhm.
need that in case we need to jump quickly off the side of or the street back to the side road because a car is screeching by, or we need that if somebody's going to attack us. So the fear circuit turns on. It gives us a high dose of cortisol or adrenaline. So it's this rocket fuel to be able to protect ourselves.
Mhm.
Well, what about, when we're afraid of failing? And so our brain is saying, hey, if you fail, then it means you're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. You're going to lose money. You're going to get physically hurt, financially hurt. You're going to be embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, judged, rejected. And our brain wants to move away from those things,
Mhm.
right? Naturally, the fear circuit is turned on to protect you.
Mhm.
But what if the reason it's turning on is because the meaning that you have around failing? So let me give you an example. Let's say you want to ask for a raise, or let's say you want to quit your job and start your own business, or let's say you want to write a book, but your brain says, but what if you make a mistake? What if you fail? What if you're embarrassed? What if you lose money? What if you lose time? What if you're rejected by your boss? What if negative, negative, negative? So your brain is doing what it needs to do.
Mhm.
Say, okay, well, what's the cost if I don't do it? I will keep settling for less. I will keep minimizing myself. I will keep playing small. I will keep doing what I am doing now, which means I'm never going to grow. So I want to use this fear to fuel me because I want to succeed. I want a raise. I want to write a book. I want to start my own business. I want the outcome. So I'm going to use that fear because it's only a signal that the
Mhm.
way my brain is processing it is to protect me. But
Mhm.
now I want to say is I want to take that fuel and I want to use it to propel me.
Okay.
So we're
Right.
using the neurochemistry of fear, but
Mhm.
then focusing on using that and attaching a reason why we should take action and do this, because what we want is bigger than what we're
Sure.
trying to
Yeah.
move away from.
Yeah. I like the statement that says, feel the fear, but do it anyway. But yeah, but what you're saying is that, yeah, using that same excitement, that same adrenaline rush to reframe it and put it towards, yeah, what happens if my boss says yes and I get a raise?
That's
That what
right.
you're saying?
Also, but what's the cost to my mindset, to my emotions, to my family, to myself, to my husband, to my children if I don't do it?
Do it. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Who am I if I don't do it? So just remember, love is an emotion, energy in motion,
Motion. Hmm. Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Fear is an emotion. Guilt is an emotion. Shame is an emotion.
Emotion. Yeah.
Anger is an emotion. All an emotion is a trigger in the subconscious mind based on what we have learned to
Hmm.
believe about the thing. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Everybody who's listening or watching, I want you to imagine this. Imagine right now that a 10-foot python,
Oh my
white
God.
Burmese python, is slithering towards you. It's about 200 pounds, and it
Oh
wants
my
to
God.
twirl itself around you and squeeze you right now. Now, How many of you, including you, Myrna, felt a little bit stressed, a little bit, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you picked the top fear, snakes.
So I picked the top fear, snakes and maybe spiders for some people. Now, let me ask you a
Right.
question.
Hmm.
Is there a snake where you are right now?
No.
No. So I just used words to
Yes.
activate brain
Yes.
cells, right? A memory
Hmm.
around what you have as a meaning around snakes. There are some people that's like, yeah, let me just get my camera. I'm going to take a selfie with the snake.
Yeah.
Other people are like feeling the
Yeah.
energy of the snake. Now,
I heard Sadhguru said that he loves snakes. So you're very right.
so the thing that we might be afraid of is really not what's causing the fear. The meaning that we have at a subconscious level around the thing causes the trigger, the circuit to activate, release the chemicals, and now we feel something. And we
Right.
move towards what feels safe and we move away from what doesn't.
Right. Right.
So
Yes.
now we need to learn some skills of awareness of my thoughts and my feelings, of my habits.
Hmm.
Then we need to learn how to reframe stuff so we're empowered instead of disempowered. That's a skill we learn.
Hmm.
And that's what I call is Innercise. We want to train our brain through Innercises to make ourselves stronger. So when the fear controls us, guess what? We're not as powerful and in control as we want to
Right.
be. But when
Yeah.
we control fear,
Hmm.
then who's empowered?
Yeah, we are, right? Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Which is basically why they said, once you face the fear, right, then you minimize it. But if
that's
you keep allowing it to control you, then it actually grows stronger, right?
exactly.
So, but it's really good that you brought up, the fear of snakes and all that. But what we're talking about here is the fear that keeps you from becoming successful. Like the fear of quitting a bad job and starting your own business because you're afraid of, not having money and that kind of thing. So
Right.
yeah, it's
So basically,
yeah,
you lack the skill to make money, and so it's triggering the right fear for you or the right emotion for you.
yeah,
So if you leave your job
hmm,
and you, let's say, start your own business, yeah, there's risk there.
yeah,
So you better learn how do I make money as a business owner and level up that skill. Because if you don't, yes, you'll be broke and maybe you'll go bankrupt.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So your brain is actually
And that's
warning.
why a lot of people pick the safety because they don't want to go there. Yep.
That's
Go ahead.
exactly right.
Hmm.
So you prefer to be safe
Yes.
than to upgrade your knowledge and skills.
Yes, yes, very true. So this is basically the audience here that we're trying to talk to of yeah, like our topic says health, wealth, and happiness, success, basically. All right. Now you also talk about something that's called the inner block. And this is what we were just talking about a minute ago. Your fear of failing, your fear of being embarrassed, ashamed, or judged. A lot of people, especially in the social media arena, they're afraid of doing things that people are maybe going to laugh at them or do whatever. So you talk about it as an inner block. So how do
Sure.
we eliminate that inner block with your
Well,
Innercise?
if somebody had a strong self-image of themselves, how they see themselves, if somebody had self-confidence and certainty in themselves, would they care if somebody laughed at them or joked about them or tried to embarrass them? Would they care?
A little, maybe 5%.
Zero.
No.
Think about this. Was anybody ever born with a self-image or an identity? Was any child ever born?
Oh,
So you learned
mhm.
what to believe about yourself.
So, right. Okay. Yes. Hmm.
So I could make a decision to upgrade my self-image so that what you say about me is like water off a duck. It just doesn't make a difference. And
Mm.
if you understood that no matter what you say, no matter what you try, no matter the successes or failures you have, there will be people who will want to spoil your party.
It's true.
If you went to
Always got haters, right?
if you went to Amazon right now or social media, let's say you went to Amazon, you looked at one of my best-selling books, Innercise, The Answer, Having It All. You're going to see people that say, oh my God, this book transformed my life. It was amazing. I made $1 million. I got healthier. I got happier. And this was incredible. And right next to it, you see,
Yes.
I want my money back. This was a bunch of crap. There's nothing new in here. This is awful, awful, awful. Now, if I cared, right, about what either one says, right, uh,
Mm.
then I would be a victim of what other people are saying or thinking, and it's based on their experience.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so my job is to put the best effort forward. And for some people, it's going to be more than enough.
Hmm.
And for other people, it'll never be enough.
Yeah.
And I let them own it, not me.
Yeah.
Because I have enough experience and awareness that for some people, what I say will make sense and it'll empower and help them. And for other people, it'll be like, oh, you're putting me to sleep. And I'm okay with that because my self-image and self-worth is strong enough that I don't need you to like me or not like me for me to like me.
Well, let me interrupt you there. Is your self-image strong because of your success? Like I reread your bio, or how did you think you came up with that strong self-image?
I first wrote out the self-image that I wanted, and then I created the neural patterns to become it.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
So
Wow.
even as we're sitting here talking, all right, in front of me, I have my exceptional life blueprints, part of a program that people invest in that we have. And if you
Hmm.
were to look at my vision board in here, you would also see the story of my life.
Story of my life, right?
Of
Hmm.
my life is all around my health and wealth and relationship, career and business and identity and self-worth and beliefs that I have programmed, conditioned through Innercise in my own brain to that
Mm.
cause me to think and feel and behave in ways that align with the self-image I have developed and decided that's what I need in order to achieve the level of success I once never had.
I love that. I
Right.
love
So
that.
it's life
Yes.
by design instead of life by default.
Right. Yes.
And
Yes.
functionally, my as a behavioral neuroscience researcher, functionally, what most people don't know is every brain functionally works the same.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Functionally, the functionality
Yeah.
works the same. So I've just learned how to create and reinforce empowering, constructive, positive patterns, beliefs, habits, self-image, self-worth. And that's the whole body of work I've done with my
Right.
best-selling books or my Innercise app is
Right.
helping others do the same so they're happier, healthier, and wealthier.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, as you were talking a minute ago about um, the word that popped into my mind is habits. So you just said it. So is the way that we rewire the brain is by habitual things that we do, or is it our thoughts, or do we do them all? We have to have thoughts and we have to have the actions. So yeah, how does neuroscience teach us to rewire the brain so that we can achieve success in health, wealth, and happiness?
So first of all, we weren't born with any habits, right?
Okay.
Anything that we repetitively do becomes a habit.
Hmm.
Any thought pattern becomes a habit. Any emotional pattern becomes a habit. Any behavioral pattern becomes a habit.
Got it. Right.
Our weight becomes a habit. Our food pattern is a habit. Our income is a pattern. Our amount of money we make is a pattern. How much we have is a pattern.
Mm.
And it's a pattern that's a collective of the thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that we've repeated. So how do we create new habits? Right? First, we need to deliberately choose what's the new habit that I want to create. And then we want to create a daily ritual that's easy to apply to start the habit creation. Not a complex pattern, a simple pattern first.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's taken us time to develop our habits, and 95% of our habits are repetitive
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and automatic.
Right.
So now we have to make automatic what will require energy and attention first. So, what's the new habit that you want to create? And the habit should be around a behavior that'll lead to an outcome that you want.
So it's easy
So,
to look at it with the health aspect. If you want to lose weight, this is what you got to do. You got to eat, you got to walk, go to the gym or something like that. You create a habit like that. Right. Mm-hmm.
yes and no. Just
Yeah.
remember 98% of people who lose weight because of a diet gain all the
Get it
weight
back.
and then some.
Right.
Why? Because they didn't change the self-image and fat set point in the brain. So
Mm.
you do not want to go on a diet.
Mm.
What
What do you want to
happens?
do?
What happens when people go on a diet and lose 20 pounds? They
When the
reach
20
the
pounds
weight,
are gone, then they eat the same again.
they go back to their old habits. So they do it for a reason,
Right.
and I want people to make changes for a lifetime. So
Mm.
now, what is the food pattern or plan that you can start on today and stay on for the rest of your life? What is the exercise routine? Walking, biking, hiking, Pilates, yoga, whatever. What's the exercise routine that you can start and continue 3 days or 4 days a week? What is the sleep pattern? Because sleep is critical for losing weight and keeping it off.
Right.
What
Mm-hmm.
is the sleep habit that you are committed to maintaining? Because if you diet and exercise, but your sleep is off, your hormone levels will be off and you will not lose the weight or keep it off.
Right.
So we first have to understand what creates a healthy lifestyle, a healthy you.
Mm.
And it's going to be sleep, it's going to be food, it's going to be exercise or movement. And so you're going to need to understand what should your sleep, exercise, and movement lifestyle be like,
Mm.
because you want the outcome for life versus the outcome for a reason or a
20
season.
minutes. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you want to lose weight, you can lose 5 pounds in 2 days. You can lose 8 pounds in 2 days, but
You
you're
just stop
mostly going
eating.
to lose
Right.
one. Right? So it's not
Got you.
weight that you want to lose.
Right.
It's fat you want to lose.
Hmm.
Weight could be muscle, tissue, bone, water. But fat is what you really want to reduce.
Right.
And in order to release fat and keep it off, there's a very specific way to think about it. There's a very specific way to feel about it.
Got it.
And there are very specific habits to create. And if you're not
Wow.
prepared to create it, then just stop wanting the goal.
Just accept, right? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or you'll
Okay.
suffer for the rest of your life having mismatched expectations.
Right. Well, I started with health because that is the easiest one to talk to. But how do you create the habit for happiness? That's an interesting one.
You can be happy right now. Happiness is a choice.
It's
See,
true.
a lot of times people think that I'll be happy
When? Yeah.
when she, when I stop this and do that or achieve that. And the question I will ask you is, why do you have that rule?
Yeah, because someone told you that he completes you or she completes you. You're waiting for them to do stuff for you so that you can be happy. You're right. Someone told us that.
You,
Culture told
you,
us
you,
that.
you will
Right.
never be happy if you think that when you get somewhere or get someone or somebody tells you you're okay, you will never be happy. for a
Yes.
long period of time. So ask yourself this question. Why not? And here's a question for everybody. Why not just choose to be happy all the time? No matter what happens to me, it's happening for me, and I choose to be happy every day. Why not just choose to be happy?
Yeah, that's hard though.
Well, what's harder? Not being happy,
Happy, right? Or choosing
okay?
to be happy.
What's harder?
Yeah. No, you're right. You can choose to be happy. I read this book a long time ago, and there was a saying on there that this too shall pass. And I try to follow that. But like you said, we're all human, and your partner is going to upset you, even though you try to say. But what I like about what you're saying is if you rewire your brain, then maybe you'll have fewer instances where someone or something is making you unhappy because you're still connected to that thing. So,
Well, again, you could be failing and still be happy. You may not like that you're failing here, but you could be happy that you're alive. You could be happy that you maybe have a mom and dad. Can be happy you have kids, or happy if you have a husband, happy if you
I
have a
like
brother,
that.
sister.
I
You
like
can
that. Okay.
compartmentalize. Why not be happy, happy, happy here? And I'm not content with this result over here.
Here. Okay.
Like, let's not confuse happiness, okay, with like being content.
Mm. Okay. That's a good one.
I'm not content in every area of my life, but I'm always happy.
Happy. That's good.
I have failed miserably, but I'm a happy person most of the time because I've failed in certain things.
Is
But
that is
me, I
that the rewiring of your brain to say that
change the
I am
meaning.
good?
When you change the rules, you change your brain and the perspective and the expectations.
Okay.
Why not create rules that you could win the game?
Okay. I like that.
Like, why make rules that are so hard to achieve?
Okay.
I'm happy no matter what, and there's areas in my life that I'm not content in,
Contented
and
with.
I'm making progress towards achieving another outcome.
That's good. That's good.
Right?
Because you're
So,
right. A lot of people always combine them.
well,
I'm not happy because, you know, I got a shitty job. My husband doesn't do this. My kids doesn't do this. I'm broke. But I like what you're saying is you're almost saying like gratitude. Be grateful for, right, certain things and make
I
that make you
I can
happy.
always find 100 things to be grateful
Grateful
for,
for.
and things that may not be to my taste today or this week or this month, or an outcome that I don't want. If I keep thinking that happiness is something that's going to happen because of something external to me, it never will
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
I'll be happy when I go to Italy. Well, what happens when you come back? I'll be happy when he says this to me. I'll be happy when you're putting these conditions on you to be happy based on circumstances. We're saying, I'm happy because I choose to be happy.
Mhm. I like it. I like
Like
it.
Marsha, I can't remember her name. She wrote a book called Happy for No Reason.
Mm.
Like, just be happy.
Happy
Happy
for no
because
reason.
I woke up today. I
Yeah.
woke up today. I am so
Yeah.
happy I woke up today because people didn't.
Yeah. Lots of
I,
people.
I,
Yep.
I walked around my house today. Well, some people can't,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
can see you right now. I can hear you right now. I am happy that I can see and hear. Some
Yeah.
people can't, and they're still happy.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
always find reasons to be happy when we focus on the reasons to be happy and the reasons to be grateful.
I like it. Change the
As soon as
rules. I love it. Mm-hmm.
change the rules. And this
Yeah.
is all around you train your brain to have
Mm-hmm.
different rules, the different frames, right?
Right.
And different meanings. The meaning we give anything determines how we feel.
Yeah. 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 That is so true. This is good. This is a good lesson for anybody that's listening.
Good.
This is probably the biggest takeaway. Yes, change the rules because everybody wants happiness. And a lot of people are not. And that's because they are, they're living with expectations of other things. Now, I'm in the space, I'm not as, deep into it as you, but I'm in the space. So I know that not necessarily to change the rules because my husband still bothers me or whatever, but I'm learning to do
Always,
my own.
always. Hold on a second. Always or
Not
sometimes?
always. Not always. I mean, when I say always, I mean that even though I'm trying to be this individual person that takes care of my own energy, you know, once in a while he's still going to affect me. And I would say to my daughter, I'm trying to be, a person that's in my own space and be responsible for my own happiness. And then he's still going to bother me. And she says something like, well, you're living with him. There's no way that you can just exclude him from your happiness. But I hear what you're saying because I still have extra
Sometimes,
work to do.
sometimes,
Mhm.
he drives me nuts.
Right.
Sometimes she drives me
Sometimes.
nuts.
Right. Not
Sometimes
all the time, I
she
mean.
makes me angry. Sometimes I make her angry. Sometimes, let's not create these overarching frames,
Mhm.
right? So let's reduce stuff to an empowering frame, right? But also, we say he drives me crazy. No, he doesn't.
Awesome.
She makes me.
Driving myself
No,
crazy, right?
she doesn't. It's the meaning you give, the attachment you have
Yes.
to that meaning that causes the feeling you own.
Yes. I know. I know.
Right.
I'm
And again,
working
I'm
on
not
it.
talking about you, I'm talking about all of us.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I own my feelings,
Feelings. Hmm.
right? I
I
own
love
them. As
it.
soon as you say I own my feelings,
Yeah.
I own the meaning that I have learned how to give things, and I can change the meaning. And when I change the meaning, I change the feeling.
Yes, yes. That's good work. That's very, very good work to do. And
So
I'm
that's
in that
inner
space and
size,
I'm working on it. I'm working
right?
on it. Yes,
So that's
yes.
inner size, right?
Inner
That's an
size.
inner
Right.
game, right? Inner
Yes.
game.
Yes, yes. I definitely need to get your app. So, all right, so let's talk about inner size now. How can our listeners and those watching on TV use this app to achieve success in life? I like where this conversation has gone for, the entire time that we've been talking. We've been talking about rewiring the brain. So, how specifically is the app teaching us to do that?
Great. So let's help people understand what inner size is. So think about exercise for your muscles, right? Exercise for your lungs, your cardiovascular system, your nervous system, right? You can walk, you can hike, you can bike, you can stretch, you can do yoga, Pilates, and your muscles and organs and systems get stronger,
Hmm.
more
Hmm.
resilient. Well, when we talk about inner size, right, we're talking about the human brain. Well, is awareness some skill that we can learn to have more awareness around our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, our sensations, and our behaviors and habits? Yes. So imagine if there were some inner sizes to help you gain more awareness of yourself and your external world. And then
Mm.
imagine if you got more awareness without judging, blaming, shaming, feeling guilty, right? Imagine if you could be in a state of awareness without all of the emotions of what you're observing and experiencing. Would you be stronger? Of course you would.
Yeah.
Then let's go to self talk.
Mm.
Most people's self talk is negative because they have what we call our too many ants. And it's not AUNTS, it's ANTS, automatic negative
Negative
thought,
thoughts. Yes, yes, yes.
over and over and over again. The
Mhm.
research that came out of University of Toronto about 2 years ago said that the average person has 6,200 thoughts a day. Do you know what the number of negative thoughts were for the average person in this study?
Probably 5,099.
Exactly, 5,000. 80% were negative.
Yes, yes.
Then what percentage do you think are repetitive negative thoughts over the course of a week?
Um, 80, 90% because the thoughts just keep,
90%.
right.
So when we have these negative thoughts that produce negative or disempowering emotions and we repeat them, we create these negative habit loops that repeat
Yes.
over and over again. Well, what if we could shift our automatic negative thoughts to automatic positive thoughts?
Mm,
What if we could do exercises around self-talk in the
mm,
form of affirmations in first person or third person, in the form of emotional regulation, and managing self talk? Then what if we could learn how to manage our emotions, fear, doubt, worry, stress, anxiety? What if these circuits that turn on, we could learn a skill, Innercise, to turn them off? Because it's
mm.
my circuit, it's my stress, it's my anxiety, it's my fear. Well, you're not your fear, you're not your stress, you're not your anxiety. But if you don't know how to turn off that circuit, it's controlling you and
Yeah.
it's forcing itself. So, awareness, self talk, emotional regulation, backed by now. What if I started to take the right actions every day
Mm.
around health and wealth and relationship and career? And what if I start to do the right things to reinforce the right self-image and the right self-talk and the right emotional state? Then wouldn't I be creating and upgrading me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd be creating a whole upgraded identity with more self-control, more self-confidence, more certainty. And if I did that, like exercise, if I went to the gym every day for 15, 20 minutes, for 100 days, would I get stronger? Of course.
Yes.
Well, what if I innercised with guidance every day for 10 or 15 minutes? Would I get mentally and emotionally stronger?
Yes.
And if I got mentally and emotionally stronger and I took action and I got better results, wouldn't I want to keep taking action?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what Innercise does. And so I
I love
created
it.
600 different Innercises for health and wealth and relationship and career and business and sales and leadership, all categorized by health, wealth, life, career, business. And then we also have world-renowned experts teaching, how to manage emotions, how to set and achieve your goals with taking baby steps and learning how to plan properly, how to develop resiliency and grit, how to develop the self-confidence and certainty to be a goal finisher versus a goal setter. And these are all, trainings that you can have to become the best version of you so you feel somewhat unstoppable. That's what the
Wow.
Innercise app will do. And that's what's in my Amazon #1 best-selling book, Innercise the book.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yes. Well, I saw the book, so definitely I'll pick up a copy of that book and also sign up for the app because wow, that's powerful.
Yeah,
I
and by
don't
the way,
have a lot of
when people sign up for the app, we also do a live monthly training. And the app is like it's $100 for the year.
oh wow.
So you also get, and by the way, that's going to go up. So I suggest if people want to look at it, get it now, because we're
Yeah.
adding a whole bunch of new stuff in it. Uh,
Hmm.
it's like $12.99 a month or $100 for the year.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine we're going to have training sessions every single month where you can ask me questions, and it's just game changer.
It is. It is. My goodness. Congratulations. That is
Thank
good
you.
work. That is
Thank you.
good work because yeah, we all know that whether it's the habit creating, doing something every day, rewiring the brain, or getting more confidence, as you're saying, or upgrading your self-image. Because again, one of the things about the brain is that it looks for reward. So it stays in this little box if it's afraid. But when you start giving it new things to think about or whatever, you keep upgrading it. So that's awesome. So how do they get this app? Is it on the
Just go to
Google?
innercise.com.
Oh, it's
Go
okay.
to innercise.com and there'll be instructions there. It'll tell you everything you get there. Or you can go directly to the App Store. either Google and or Apple,
Apple. Okay.
and you can sign up. And then for my book or books, you can go to Amazon.
Yes, I downloaded them all. I was looking at them all. And I saw that what your latest one was the Innercise book, right? Yes. Okay.
It's a game
So
changer.
yeah, that it is a game changer. Wow. Like I said, I've been in this space for a while now, and it's the first time I've actually heard something so complete. So it's pretty good. You're touching on a lot
I've
of
been
things.
a student of behavior for 44 years. So
Yeah,
I've learned a little bit about getting myself to perform better, getting my students to perform better, and helping people, bring out the best in themselves.
yeah, that's amazing. All right. Well, listen, John, thank you so much for being on the
Excellent.
show. I will have a summary of our conversation on the show page, which is myhelps.us. I will link out to your app and the Apple Store and the Google Store and your website. And also follow you on social media. What's your handle?
Yeah, at John Assaraf on
Okay.
Instagram or John Assaraf on Facebook, and my YouTube channel is John Assaraf.
Everything is just your name.
And
All right.
LinkedIn, John Assaraf.
Yes,
All
why
right.
not? That name you can patent. It's a beautiful name.
Indeed.
It's
Thank
It's a very famous name, so why not use anything else, right? So amazing. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode of Transform Your Mind so you can transform your life. This is basically transforming your mind, transforming your brain, transforming your life, transforming your habits, transforming your happiness. One of the things I got out of it is you choose to be happy, which I knew, but I like the way John put it, right? That yeah, you gotta change
Love
the
it.
rules. All
Thank you
right.
so much.
So, any last words, John, before we wrap up?
The only last words is like, if you can imagine it, you can have it.
Yes, yes. Simple. Let's bring it right back to simplicity. If you can imagine it. And like what you said, like I always say that before you can hold it in your hand, you've got to hold it in your head. But you also added an extra thing. If you can hold it in your head, feel it in your heart, you can definitely hold it in your hand. So that's basically what we do. All right,
Right.
John, thank you for being
Thank
on
you
the
so much.
show. It was indeed my honor and my privilege to meet you and talk to you. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. And until next time, namaste.
Namaste.